Manufacturers have built and tested their ladders to very specific requirements as mandated by OSHA and various consensus standards. These manufacturers have guaranteed their ladders to work as promised while preserving human life at various elevated work levels. But there is a single fundamental flaw that consistently undermines both the intent and craftsmanship of these ladders as they are distributed among the millions of job sites scattered throughout the United States. And that's the worker.
Hi!
There are two methods the worker must employ to ensure that these ladders work as designed to effectively ensure the preservation of human life. One is to use that ladder as per the manufacturer's specification, which we'll cover in another topic or two. And two is to verify that the ladder is of the designed structural integrity prior to every use, and this can only be achieved through inspection. Quite literally, your butt is on the line every time you ascend the ladder because if you're lucky, that will be what hits the ground first in a fall. Oh, it's gonna hurt. It doesn't matter how much you're packing back there. As we covered in another topic, the body's bones, tissues, and joints are not designed to sustain the magnitude of resulting compressive shock load reverberating through the joints, up the spine, and into the neck. And with luck, they won't result in the 1 in 4 lifelong spinal injuries. As far as a general overall inspection, look for any missing, loose, damaged, or corroded parts and pieces. The ladder should not be covered in a layer of paint, or anything else for that matter. If it is, an effective inspection cannot be conducted. Not only that, but whatever is covering the ladder is concealing the labels, and all labels should be visible and legible at all times. If it's an extension ladder, be sure the rope is in good shape. No excessive fraying, cuts, melted strands, and the like. If the ladder is non-conductive, then so too shall be the rope. If not, get it replaced. Ensure that the pulley is securely fastened to the base section, and the end of the rope is secured to the fly section, that the rope moves smoothly over the sheave, and the sheave operates smoothly in the pulley. Look for any overall structural damage such as bends, cracks, and bowing. A good indication of this, at least in the case of a stepladder, is if all 4 feet cannot make simultaneous contact with the flat surface. Another indication is the wobble. If the ladder wobbles while all feet are in contact with the ground, well, parts and pieces are more than likely bent, loose, and/or missing. Do not use that ladder. Finally, look for any repairs. We don't do ladder repairs. This would be the equivalent of tying 2 halves of a failed sling back together. These ladders are designed and manufactured to a very high degree of precision and craftsmanship to guarantee the sanctity of human life at an elevated height. You don't go slapping duct tape and bubblegum to repair a ladder and expect that same level of integrity and performance. If that were possible, if that were the case, then these ladders would come directly from the manufacturer with a roll of duct tape and a pack of bubblegum labeled Repair Kit. If these ladders require repairing, then they must be repaired to a level that maintains that manufacturer's design specifications. And to guarantee that, they will have to be returned to the manufacturer. If the ladder passed the overall inspection, it's now time to take a closer look. The feet. The feet are integral in keeping that ladder from sliding out from underneath that worker. It is imperative that they have traction. First off, make sure the rubber pad is secured to the bottom of the feet. The rubber may exhibit some superficial wear, but it is not to be worn to the degree to impede traction. With extension ladders, be sure that the feet rotate freely because you want to be able to turn those things 90 degrees and spike them into the ground should ground conditions so warrant. From here, inspect the rails, paying particular attention to the corners. One of the worst enemies of ladders, well, other than the operator, is Mother Nature. The harsh effects of ultraviolet light and temperature variances take years off the life of the ladder by weakening that fiberglass material. This promotes the early onset of cracking and splitting. Start at the feet and follow each corner the entire length of that ladder. If there is any signs of cracking or splitting, do not use that ladder. Splitting along the corners of the rails is the equivalent of a steel becky having broken strands at the compression fitting, or a body harness having popped stitches along its webbing. This is what is holding that ladder together. A worker attempting to climb a ladder with compromised rails is in for a very short climb and a very painful fall. Any weight placed on the ladder with compromised rails can cause that split to run the entire length of that ladder in just a matter of seconds, like peeling a banana. This may happen with the worker on the first rung, or it may wait until the worker's on the 20th rung. Check for any bent or cracked rungs. Ensure that each rung is effectively secured to both rails. Again, inspect for any missing, loose, damaged, or corroded hardware, as well as cracks and splitting where those rungs anchor to each rail. Inspect for and remove any oil, mud, or grease from the ladder rungs that may cause the worker to lose traction and slip while ascending or descending that ladder. One note regarding footwear. It's always best if the worker is wearing footwear with a defined heel. not that type of defined heel. This aids that worker in the ability to lock that foot onto that rung, further reducing the chance of losing traction. This isn't so much the case with those rolling ladders and the such that have those full steps on them, but rather on ladders where the foot has limited contact surface with the rung. The ladder locks. Always look for missing, loose, damaged, or corroded hardware. Ladder locks need to be fully functional and completely engaged to ensure the stability of that ladder while it is in use. Let's jump back to labels for a minute. The ladder must have a label identifying that ladder's capacity or duty rating. If not, then it's like a crane with no load chart. You cannot use it. And don't assume a longer ladder has a higher weight capacity. There is absolutely no relationship between ladder length and weight capacity. The listed capacity rating is to exceed the cumulative total weight of the worker, tools, clothing, and any equipment that ladder is expected to support during whatever job is being conducted. The highest duty rating is extra heavy duty and represents the majority of the ladders used in the industrial and construction fields. This includes both Type 1AA as well as Type 1A, the difference being that Type 1AA has the capacity rating of 375 pounds, while the Type 1A has the reduced capacity rating of 300 pounds. Next, you have Type 1. This is heavy duty with a capacity rating of 250 pounds. This is more common in the maintenance and drywalling environments. Type 2 is medium duty with a capacity rating of 225 pounds. These are found more in the light commercial, painting, cleaning, and light repair settings. Type 3 is light duty with a capacity rating of 200 pounds. These are typically reserved for lighter chores such as painting, yard work, and generic household chores. If at the end of your inspection something doesn't look right, then it probably isn't. Do not use that ladder. If it has been determined that that ladder is unsafe to use, then red tag it immediately. If the company is not going to send it back to the manufacturer for repairs, then get with your supervisor and decide the most effective and expedient way to get this thing off the site. And don't send the ladder home with a coworker as a free perk. This ladder has already been determined as being dangerous to life and health, any life and health, employee or not. You do not want to hear about how it buckled under the weight of a coworker's wife or kid while they were trying to string up the Christmas lights. And don't just throw it in a dumpster. Somebody is bound to salvage it. Again, check with your supervisor, but the best course of action is to destroy that ladder to the point that it could never be used to hurt or kill someone, and then throw it in a dumpster.